executive session of the Wayne Board of
Yeah,
Education,
we're
public
approving that
work
job
session
agreement.
meeting of December 4, 2025, is convened in the conference room in the administrative offices of the Wayne Board of Education, 50 Nellis Drive, Wayne, New Jersey. Statement of compliance setting forth daytime notification was read in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act, and a roll call was taken. The meeting was recessed and is now being reconvened. Please stand for the flag salute followed by a moment of silence. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Just a few items for just an administrative summary tonight. On the agenda is the school calendar, but we still have some work to look at it. We're looking for board members to get their eyes on it first today and then make some recommendations, not for action until the 18th. This week, however, we did have parent conferences this week, the 3rd and 4th. Parents are invited to our elementary schools to attend conferences with the child's teacher. And just prior to the Thanksgiving break was our first Giving Back Jubilee. So I want to thank our board members who did attend. We had about 150 staff members across the district attend over at the Village Inn. What a great event. We just asked everyone to, if you were attending, we had donated appetizers from two educational businesses. One was Imagine Learning, the other was the John Lee Consulting, and the owners of the Village Inn. And the staff members that did come, they brought gift cards to support our local food banks and families directly in need. We were able to raise $3,500 in food cards that day, gift cards for restaurants, for supermarkets. Some of those immediately went to families so they had food for Thanksgiving dinner, which was a really great thing to do and provide for them. And we'll be working with the local food pantry to give them the other cards so they can keep families stocked up and going to Christmas dinner. And that concludes my summary.
Any revisions to the agenda?
I have one revision on your number 4
I think that's number 4 under hiring of substitutes.
Yes.
We're going to administratively remove number 6.
Right, this portion of the meeting will be open to citizens for comment on agenda items only. Residents are asked to state their name, address, and subject matter. Comments may be limited to 3 minutes per person. Members of the public are discouraged from speaking negatively about an employee or a student. The board bears no responsibility for comments made by the public. Comments regarding employees or students cannot be legally responded to by the board. Other comments may be responded to tonight or at a subsequent meeting under old business. Do I have a move? Mr. Ghetto and Mrs. Lemay. Anyone from the public wishing to address an agenda item?
Hello, Alan Tempescu, 41 Gibbs Drive. I have a few comments regarding today's agenda, specifically agenda item U and X, which deals with various policies about the accountant, legal services, professional services, and budget preparation. My comments about the agenda relate to the $7.1 million deficit that was announced this past spring, and as we all know, that sadly led to cutbacks, which no one wants to happen again this year. I've seen various board members bring up the budget and good brainstorming ideas to cut costs. Specifically, Mr. Faber has brought up the idea of shifting grades between elementary, middle, and high schools. Last meeting, Mr. Persacos brought up the maintenance budget and how more money is needed for repairs, but we don't have it. So looking at these policies under today's agenda, I think the board's finance committee could be of tremendous help and should be incorporated into the budget and expenses covered under these policies. After all, one of the purposes of the board committees is to have a subgroup to study operations, make recommendations to the full board as appropriate. The finance committee may be able to identify opportunities to reduce costs to free up money for other things if given the monthly professional invoices. Accountants, lawyers, auditors, etc., to monitor, at least for the short term, until the budget issues are resolved. I believe the Finance Committee is chaired by Mr. Faber, and Mr. Paul is on the committee, the superintendent, the board president as well, but your proposed policy only has one administrative person, a staff person, as the sole person able to review these professional monthly service bills. That's fine to have an administrative person, but why not have the Finance Committee have access to those bills so that they could report back to the board? My comment specifically is about policy 177, 173, 174 for all your professionals, and which now includes a new professional, agenda item X, a law firm Scarinci and Hollenbeck, who you're retaining, it looks like you're retaining as well. I bring this up because your business administrator recently sent out an adjusted budget in a recent board meeting. That was for July 1st to September 30th. Your first quarter for the budget. Some budget items changed a lot. Professional educational services changed from $468,000 to a new amount of $917,000 in just 3 months. It showed legal fees changed from $385,000 budgeted to $413,000. It showed audit fees budgeted for $116,000, pacing to exceed that because you've already spent $35,500 in 3 months. And something that caught my eye was textbooks, now budgeted for $664,000, of which $616,000, according to that budget, was already expended. I don't even know. My understanding is I don't even know who's using textbooks. Maybe it's the younger kids, because that seemed like a lot. The last thing anyone wants is another announcement next spring that students and teachers have to face a deficit. So anything that could be done to give the Finance Committee more information to report back to the board could be helpful. And I realize that there's a limit of who should be able to authorize professional services. And that's appropriately limited to the superintendent, the board president, and the business administrator. But sharing of the monthly information, once billed, I propose be added in addition to the one administrative person, that it goes to the Finance Committee.
Mr. Pesky, can you wind up?
Yep,
Your
I'm
3
winding
minutes are
up. Last paragraph. So that each of the policies for professional, legal, and audit services can be reviewed by this important committee chaired by Mr. Faber. Thank you.
Anyone else wish to speak on an agenda item?
Seeing no one else, I move to close.
Mr. Kazakis, Mr. Paul. Do I have a mover for the agenda?
I move the agenda once in total.
Dana, this is for your second. Any discussion on the agenda?
You want to clarify for Mr. Topescu's
I
question?
will at the end.
Oh,
And we have one item added to approve the settlement agreement that was discussed in exec.
Correct. The settlement agreement for employee number 1331 is up for vote
That's
as a
included.
result.
Yeah, thank you.
Everybody mover and the second, okay with that? Okay? Roll call, please.
Board member Eloquent,
No on U9 and yes to everything else.
Manager,
Yes.
Battershill,
Here.
Giordano,
Yes.
Vasconcelos,
Persacos, yes.
Versacos.
Yes.
Favor,
Yes.
Paul? Yes. Ms. Reguloso?
Yes.
Mr. Pavlik?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, this portion of the meeting is open for citizens for comment on any topic. Residents are asked to state their name, address, subject matter. Comments may be limited to 5 minutes per person. Members of the public are discouraged from speaking negatively about an employee or student. The board bears no responsibility for comments made by the public. Comments regarding employees or students cannot be legally responded to by the board. Other comments may be responded to tonight or at a subsequent meeting under old business. Do I have a mover?
Move.
Mr. Giordano, Mr. Allen. Anyone from the public wishing to speak on any item?
Hello, good evening, Wayne Board of members.
Ma'am, could you give your name and address,
Oh,
please?
Roxana Serna, 440 Southside Ave. I am Roxana Serna, Passaic County School Boards Association Membership Chair. I'm here to remind you of the upcoming county meeting scheduled for Monday the 8th, starting with 3 hours at 5:30 p.m. This meeting will be held in Manchester Regional High School and held in right down the block. If you cannot attend in person, you can also attend virtually. Participation in this training is essential for improving the effectiveness as a board member. Your commitment and to attending and actively engaging in this session is crucial for fulfilling your responsibility and supporting the goals, collective goals, and we hope to see you there.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak on any item?
Move to close.
In favor, Mr. Paul. Any old business? New business? Just to Mr. Tepesky, we get the bills, we see every check that's written out. And if I don't sign off and he doesn't sign off, it doesn't happen. The finance committee sees every check, every bill, and we look at bills. We look at the things you addressed tonight. They are looked at. So it's not like one person looks at it and that's the end of it. There's multiple sets of eyes, especially the finance committee and the superintendent and the assistant superintendent, and the man to my left is a penny pincher. I will guarantee you that. If he can save a dime, he's saving a dime. He'll even save a penny if he can. So rest assured that we are looking at all those things all the time.
If I can add, including the defense of claims brought against the school district.
Right. And to answer your question about Scaranci and Hollenbach, being that we changed law firms, there's still cases that they were working on that are more cost effective to maintain, let them finish them out, than to bring new counsel up to speed on them. That is a common occurrence in every school board throughout this state. It's just, it's something where you sit down and it's a business decision. Is it worth it? We have converted some stuff back to our present attorney, but that is the answer for why we continue to have that retainer with them. And they're almost done with the litigation that they have undertaken so far. Any other comments?
Yes, so just to say some other things about this. So I think that it's important for people to understand, again, I've said this before, but how we got to where we've gotten to. And the issue is not necessarily that we're overspending, because I think it's about 85% of our budget is based on salaries and benefits. That's a fixed cost that we don't have. Additionally, the cost of electricity has gone through the roof, right? So maintenance costs are up. So it's not that we're mismanaging money. It's that we're also, 52% of Wayne taxes go to pay our, that goes to our school district budget. But we're limited as to how much we can raise it. And in addition to that, as relative to our total budget, the amount of money that we're getting from the state is negligible. So, you have cities that are paying, 10% of their taxes toward their budget, and they're getting, hundreds of millions of dollars in aid. We have the opposite situation. So, when we have, like this year, we're facing potentially a huge increase in the costs of the benefits again. That's going to be, that's millions and millions of dollars that eats up that 2% that we can increase right off the bat. And we're also mindful, though, that, like if you look last year, there were some districts that were given the option to raise taxes outside the 2% cap. And they opted to raise their taxes 15 to 20% just on the school budget side. My parents, they ended up getting, I think, a new bill, like an extra $2,000 a year. We were asking for, a referendum for $170 million that was only gonna cost the average person about $400 a year. But if we have to go this other route now and potentially look at raising taxes, we don't wanna do that to the people of the town. Because it gets to a point where you're gonna price people right out of the town. So believe me, we are trying to be as mindful as we can because we're all taxpayers too. And we don't wanna start pricing everybody out of the neighborhood. So it's a balancing act, but when costs are going up exponentially relative to the amount of money that you can increase your budget every year, it becomes a really difficult situation. Now, we did make a lot of cuts, but thankfully we were able to find money and bring some of those back. So it's constantly this game because you have to submit a balanced budget by a certain date, and then you find out that, you don't get all your aid numbers until after you have to submit your budget. So once you find that out and then you close out and you see how much extra you have, you get to, bring people back. So it's a it's a terrible process. You can't run it like a business.
It's convoluted.
And, you don't have an option to raise, again, I think if, in the past, if they would have raised certain fees incrementally over time, instead of trying, like when we had to, we did the aftercare and, that cost jumped up tremendously. If they would have raised it by 5% a year or, that becomes much more manageable to people than, a 40-50% jump, which is what we're trying to work through now, is ensuring that we try to keep pace, at least with the small things that we have to charge for, so that they don't become burdensome, like 5 years from now, we have to say, oh my God, now we have to increase it 50%. So we're trying to come up with all these different ideas, but, and we're also, we just discussed that we are gonna be looking at another referendum, to deal with some of the other issues and hopefully free up some capital that we can use toward the main budget. So, there's a lot of things that are in flight. It's just, we've been getting hit with a lot of things at once in this district, and we're just trying to work through it all. So,
Anyone else?
thank you.
I'll take motion to adjourn.
1 minute,
Oh.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to, tonight's my last evening here, and I just want to thank everybody for the cooperation and the help. It's been I've enjoyed it very much as an interim. You just get to know people and then time is up, but I leave you in the good hands. My replacement is back there being nice and quiet. Wish you all the best, and thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, motion?
Motion.
Mrs. Dano? Mrs. Renuosa. Thank you, everyone.